Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurumedeva Sarvakarishu Sarvadom Ganganapate Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwaraha. Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharane Trambake Devi Narayani Namostute. Om Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita. Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha. Shri Hanumanji Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 21st of August 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Paramatma, Parameshwar Bhagavan residing in the heart of every single being. We are continuing to examine Prema Bhakti, Prem-Lakshana Bhakti, and in doing so, the extraordinary development that awaits anyone who starts taking this path towards God. It is an extraordinary path with a great amount of devotion and love. Since we are talking about Prema Bhakti and Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Satsangi Jivan, we're focusing on Sri Radhika Ji, Sri Krishna Bhagavan, and the Golok Dham particularly. Today I want to cover another angle along these lines, and that is the question of Ojas, O-J-A-S. Ojas and Bhakti. What is the connection between these two? What is meant by Ojas? So this is a word that many people are probably familiar with in some form or another. The Ojas is a word that is used in Ayurveda, in classical Ayurvedic texts, which describes the vital essence that sustains life. Are we alive? Yes, we are alive. Absolutely, we're alive. There's no doubt about that. We are alive. And that essence that is within life, it is a special kind of dynamic, very special power that is sustaining our entire life. It is the Shakti. Ojas is Shakti. It is a very refined, very powerful Shakti. So the Sanskrit word Ojas, O-J-A-S, literally means vigor, vitality, and strength. Right? So do we want this in our life? Yes. We want vigor. Vigor means to be vigorous, to be active, to be able to do a lot of good things without getting depressed and downtrodden and low energy and things like that. We want vitality. Right? Vitality is a very bubbling and very good quality energy moving throughout the whole day. And we want good strength, physical, mental strength. We want this. All right. This is called Ojas. So that is its literal translation. So more than just physical energy is part of it. Ojas is understood as the subtle substance that integrates body, mind, and spirit. We have mind, we have body, and we have Atma Tattva. So the Ojas Shakti, Ojas is that extraordinary vital essence that links and integrates body, mind, and spirit inside us. Yes, and this is our internal wealth. We don't want to damage this. And this is why Bhakti, the development of Bhakti, pulls that Ojas together inside of us. It really solidifies it. And it gives benefit all the way around to body, mind, spirit, everything, all areas of life. Now, there's a scripture called the Charaka, Charakya Sanhita, one of Ayurveda's foundational texts, declares that it is the body of all living beings, that in the body of all living beings, Ojas is the first element to be formed, and its destruction leads to death. In this sense, Ojas is the biological glue of life, the essence that holds everything together. Very interesting. This is how Ayurveda looks at this, right? The essence that holds everything together. Let's look at it this way now. From Ayurveda, Ojas is the final product of digestion and metabolism. We eat food every day. Do we not eat food every day? Everybody eats food. We have to digest it. Our stomach digests it. Small intestine, large intestine, etc. Okay. And then metabolism. The energy is extracted, and that's how the metabolism works. Alright, so Ayurveda teaches us that everything we consume, food, water, air, and even experiences, anubhav, jivan ke anubhav, undergo a process of transformation in the body. They are absorbed in the body, and they are creating the body. They transform in the body. So each tissue is called dhatu, nourishes the next in a sequential cycle. So from plasma to blood to muscle, from muscle to fat, to bone, to marrow, and finally to reproductive tissue. It is the end of this cycle. At the end of the cycle, the finest extract of nourishment is distilled into ojas. It is the final essence of refinement. From the food we eat, the air we breathe, the experiences we have in life, it all gets refined at the very end, and it is stored as ojas. What a tremendous discovery and research thousands of years back. Even the modern science doesn't talk much about this. It doesn't know, it has not reached that meditative realization of this Shakti. So it is a cycle. It is at the end of the cycle, the finest extract. It is the end point, right? It is the extract of nourishment. All the nourishment that we take that is distilled into ojas. You understand? It's a distillation. So this process is often compared to the way milk can be churned into butter and then clarified into golden ghee. Where does ghee come from? Golden ghee. You can make it at home, right? Get butter sticks. Milk turns to butter, and then butter, when you boil it, evaporate all of the water out of there. It takes time. Then there's that golden ghee, the most refined and potent product. From that golden ghee, you can make the diya. Hum jo diya banate hain, divo kariye. What is that? That is made from ghee. You cannot make that from butter because there's water inside there. Now, this is the point to understand, that ojas is ultimate refinement. Refinement. And this is where bhakti comes into the picture. What does bhakti do for us? It directly cleans everything up. Cleans it all up. Cleans up what? All of the disturbances, the agitations, all these things that are going on, sab saaf kar deta hai. It's a purifier. Shankaracharya ji, Adi Jagat Guru Shankaracharya ji is very clear that bhakti is chitta shuddhi, antakarana shuddhi. Shuddhikaran. Hamara antakaran, hamara man, pran, indriya, everything becomes pure, purified by devotion towards God. Right? Because devotion is emotion. And emotion has a lot of energy inside. So that same energy now gets transmuted, refined further into ojas. Our same energy. So that ultimate refinement, a pure, concentrated essence. Concentrated essence. Like how you have those essence bottles, you may be more familiar with it than I am. Rose essence and jasmine essence and all those. What is all that? That is essence from the rose petals. The rose petals themselves are an essence from the whole tree. And then the rose comes, right? Roses don't come just like that. There's a whole process how the roses are actually created on the tree. So then there's a rose essence you can extract. It's like that. It's the essence. So ojas inside of us represents, or it is the ultimate refinement. A pure, concentrated essence that fuels vitality. It increases immunity, and it increases our consciousness. How beautiful is this? When we keep attention on increasing ojas. Now this is why anger, greed, tension, fear, uncontrolled sexual desires, these things damage the ojas shakti. That is why, in Sachin's humble opinion, after years of study and research and so many things, we can say why there are so many physical health problems, so many mental health problems, so many economic problems, family problems. It is damage to ojas. This is a hypothesis. I don't have scientific proof for that. So it's a hypothesis. I don't want to say that it is 100% like that, because we need to do the research behind that. It's difficult to do the research. I don't know how much research is actually done. We'll have to look at it sometime on these questions about ojas. But we know from experience that anger, greed, hatred, negative emotions, worries, tensions, fears, they cause a lot of disturbance inside. We know this. We know that our body and our mind and our senses are going to be damaged, or they are going to be not functioning in the best way. Our brain doesn't function best way when there's negative emotion. We know that. Science teaches that. We know that from neurology. Right? So, okay, now let's go a bit further, because I want to connect this with Bhakti, but we need to do some foundational work. I've spent a couple of days on this, and let's see what is the will of God, Very important. Oh, and by the way, the blessings of Radhika ji is ojas. That's what it is. In fact, when she blesses, when that great Shakti, that Krupa Drashti happens and Bhakti is born, ojas naturally just develops. Everything becomes cleared out. It's just fantastic. So Ayurveda scholars describe two forms of ojas. Two forms. What is called para ojas and apara ojas. Para ojas is the superior form, present in only 8 drops stored in the heart. It is considered the most vital. Its loss means immediate death. See, there's that number 8 again. Why 8? Ashtami, we talk about the glory of Ashtami. Bhagwan Krishna is born on the 8th day. Gokula Ashtami. Why is that? It has to do with this Ojas Shakti inside of us. It is a superior form. A very special quality of this energy is inside. If it is not there, then we cannot live. That is also Kundalini in another sense. This is called para ojas. And apara ojas, the secondary form, present throughout the body, circulating through plasma, blood, and tissues. This is the functional ojas that determines day-to-day vitality, strength, and immunity. Our day-to-day vitality, strength, and immunity is called apara ojas. A-P-A-R-A, ojas. So the heart, described as the seat of ojas, is more than the physical organ in Ayurveda. Okay, it is also the center of consciousness, emotions, and spirit, symbolizing the intimate relationship between ojas and our mental, spiritual life. See, very clear. It should be very clear that the ojas is the center of our emotional consciousness, spiritual life, our inner world. It is the intimate relationship. That there is an intimate relationship between Ojas Shakti and our mental, spiritual life. Do we want best quality of experience of life? Yes. Start conserving ojas. Now, how do we do this? How do we conserve ojas? There's 50 and 50. 50%, 50%. 50% of the conservation happens when we remove all negativity from our mind. Negativity, and we stop loss of energy. This is presented in detail in our Angel Wing program on Tuesday evenings. The personal transformation program, lot of detailed exercises and ideas are there on this point. But I'm mentioning it here because that's 50% of the equation. It's stopping all of the energy drain, energy wastage, energy abuse, everything. Negative thinking, negative feeling, negative talking, all that thing has to stop. Completely. हमारे जीवन में से ये सब आसुरी वृत्ति होनी नहीं चाहिए. Get rid of it. Right? So this is the 50% of the solution for the highest quality of experiences. What's the other 50%? Bhakti. अखंड भक्ति. भगवान के साथ लिंक. ભગવાનની સાથે સંબંધ જોડવો. ભગવાનમાં વૃત્તિ રાખવી. How to keep the mind absorbed in God. That is the other 50%. Now, we've tried to absorb our mind in God without dumping out all this trash. It doesn't work very well. How can it work? You see, for example, if we're sitting in our home Like I have a 1-bedroom condominium here. Okay? But if I don't throw out, the trash that accumulates in the bathroom and in the kitchen and other places, if I don't throw it out and vacuum my whole place will become a trash yard within 2 months, less than that. Can you imagine how terrible? We have to clean out the trash, like physically. Even in the body, there's defecation, urination. The trash has to be cleaned out, has to be removed. Similarly, our mental trash, if it is there, get rid of it. It's very simple to understand. Recognize what is trash. But you know what we do? Our mental trash, we hold on to that. As if, my God, life and death is dependent on that. Nothing is dependent on that mental trash. Throw it out. And make a determination to throw it out by the grace of all the sages, by the grace of, the connection to Paramatma. So as we are continuing our sadhana, when we do sadhana, have the intention and prarthana, when we offer flowers, fruits, however we're doing sadhana, to remove ajnan, remove limitations, remove and stop energy damage, increase vitality and strength, remove everything that doesn't belong. Like you want to turn milk into ghee, everything else has to be removed except that final substance. Then only from the ghee can you light the lamp. You cannot take milk and light lamp, as far as I know. You cannot do that with milk or with butter. All the impurities have to go. Only the ghee can light the lamp. So until all the impurities are gone, that actual prema bhakti cannot open. It will never open. It hardly ever opens in anybody's life because of the impurities. And it's not so hard. What is so hard about this? Recognize. It's 3 points for today. We'll spend a few more minutes here. Several points. Ojas. O-J-A-S. I don't want to damage my ojas. Bilkul nahi. Isko damage nahi karna. Why damage it? What good will come out of it? How do we damage it? Anger, greed, uncontrolled sexuality. These are the 3 big things. Constant striving for position, power, jealousy, the Shadripu, all the negative emotions that are damaging the Shakti inside. Stop this damage. Yes. Absolutely stop it. Stop it now. Don't wait until tomorrow. Who has seen tomorrow? Stop it now. Right? So this is the grace of Radhika ji, asking her to bless us. Literally, you can take some flowers. It's a very simple sadhana. Take some flowers, and literally take a mala. Very simple mantra. Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. Do 108 times. Offer 1 flower at the feet of Radhaji. And ask her to remove the deficiencies. Ask her to remove all of the negative things, to clean it out completely. You see, ask and you shall receive. But we have to ask Shri Radha. When we ask her, then the blessings come. Why should God bless us unless we want that blessing? So it depends what we want. We need to be clear. We want this Ashirvad. Okay. And then from that awareness that this negative stuff is not me. I am a bhakta, not a bound, tormented, individual living blindly in this world. That's not me. We should not identify with that. We have to identify with devotion, with bhakta. That मैं कौन हूँ? मैं भगवान का भक्त हूँ. Not this foolish, idiotic being who is trapped in rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva, klesh, worry, tension, fear. That's not me. De-identify. De-identify with all of that negative stuff and re-identify with devotion, with the bhakta state. That I am a bhakta, and that bhakta life, the life of a bhakta, is where this extraordinary vigor, vitality, and the para ojas begins to open beautifully in our lives. Para ojas. Para ojas. In the poetic language of Ayurveda, there are the classical texts in Ayurveda describe poetically what is ojas. that the color of ojas is golden or white, like ghee. The taste is sweet like honey. The smell is pleasant like roasted grain. The qualities, the gunas are cool, smooth, soft, stable, and nourishing. It is a great level of sattva gun. Sattva gun increases substantially in this. And it is a very beautiful life, a life that is very, very joyful. These qualities indicate that ojas is not fiery or aggressive, but cooling, stabilizing, and life-sustaining. It provides steadiness of body, clarity of mind, serenity of spirit. A person endowed with abundant ojas is said to have a radiant complexion, glowing eyes, calm demeanor, and strong immunity. See these points. So remember the equation, 50 and 50, right? We have to remove 50% and add 50. Add the other 50%. So we want to increase bhakti. And bhakti is through mantra, shastra, stotra, all those things we were talking about yesterday. But this is another dimension to all this. Ojas governs 3 critical domains of life. Physical health. So in physical health, strength, stamina, and resilience to disease. Yes, because our body is going to be balanced. We need to exercise the body. Doesn't matter how old we are, in the right way, according to medical advice or whatever. The movement of the body, exercise of the body. Body is a mechanism. So the physical health, stamina, strength, and resilience to disease is based on this ojas shakti. Then mental health, clarity, confidence, and emotional stability is also based on ojas shakti. And spiritual health, peace, compassion, connection to higher consciousness. You see, so all of these points are very, very critical. There are actually a lot of Sanskrit terms here on this point. Now, having said all of this, what is the connection to bhakti? Bhakti is what? Bhakti is love. It is the love shakti. Bhakti is shakti, that is prema shakti. So to tap into the prem shakti, we do bhajan kirtan, yes, but there is a bij mantra you can do a little bit, not too much because it's very powerful. That is the Klim bij mantra, Kleem. Om Klim Swaha. You can do this mantra. It's a Mahavidya. Klim bij mantra is prema mantra. And so again, that can be done later on after sufficient devotional level has been developed, right? So this is how the prema begins to open inside of us. And from that, our link with Paramatma continues. Dhyan and bhajan, bhakti continues. And then our worldly activity continues at 2 levels. So there are 2 levels. There is the relative worldly activity with family and friends and all those things that we generally do, work and house and home, and that all has to be done. That has to be done with Karma Yoga. And then while doing that, while doing it in the right way, there's free time. As free time develops, we do other things also, but then set up time to just sit with Bhagwan. Bhagwan ke saath, sambandh jodna, right? How do we do that? Isn't that what we do in our worldly life? Husband and wife, they say, we want to go out for a romantic dinner. On Thursday evening or Saturday evening, we're going to go for a nice restaurant, with the family or just with each other. Romantic dinner. All right? That's fine. No problem. Why can't you do that with God? That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. He said, Bhagwan ke saath romance karna. Bhagwan ke saath prem karna. You say that I want to spend 2 hours with you. I'm going to sit with the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto or 12th chapter of the Gita, listen to pravachans. It's just me and you. And to listen with bhakti, devotion. This is a date with God. Why can't you do that? Why can't we do that? We can do that and we should do that. Set it up, schedule it. That for 3 hours, there's going to be dhyan, bhajan, kirtan, bhagwan, main aur mere ishta devata aur koi kuch hai nahi. This is called setting up a special time, deliberate time for bhakti, for sadhana, for connection. Why do people do dating and all that? Look at the worldly example. Because they want to establish a deeper connection, maybe if they like each other. Then they go for dating, then they text, then they call, do this, I can't wait to see you, and this and that, and flowers and candy and chocolate and whatever else, all that stuff goes on. TK. Right? Very good. Similarly, do that with Bhagwan Krishna. That I want to be in connection with you through the Gita, through the Bhakti, through bhajans. Bhakta or Bhagwan, the connection, it remains. To establish the connection, that connection is Bhakti. That connection between Bhakta and Bhagwan is Bhakti. And to establish that, we need to set aside time for that. So that is our sadhana for today. Set aside, schedule it. Don't we schedule so many things, dental appointments and eye appointments and teeth appointments and I don't know, whatever, pedicure appointments and 1,000 kinds of appointments are scheduled. Has anybody, I want to know, has anybody gone into their Google Calendar and said, I'm scheduling 2 hours just for me and Krishna? Start doing that. Do it. See the magic that happens. Bhagwan ke saath sambandh jodna. But to make that happen, we see, this becomes the last priority in most people. God is there somewhere, this and that. It's not taken seriously. No, take it seriously. Make that commitment to say, I'm going to listen to chapter 15, chapter 12. Thousands of commentators are there on YouTube. Everything is available. Make the appointment. Develop the sambandha. What does that sambandha do? I'll close with this point. That connection, that sambandha means relationship. It builds ojas from inside. It builds bhakti. And bhakti and ojas are the same. They're not different. That is haladini shakti. So bhakti, navda bhakti leading to 10th bhakti, the highest levels of ojas shakti and haladini shakti, this is all together. वो दिव्य शक्ति है, वो प्रेम शक्ति है. जीवन में किसको नहीं चाहिए? Who doesn't want only love? If you ask anybody in this life, do you want to be loved and to want only to be bathed with love and to give love only? That is possible only in the 10th bhakti. Sansar mein ye possible nahi hai. No, there's no object, no person, nothing in this world that can give us continuous uninterrupted love, because everything is under the modes of prakriti, which is all broken up. Apparently it is broken up. It's okay, there's pieces of it there, but it's not the entire. The actual real ananda, the anandam, that prema, is available in bhakti only, not in anything else. And it is, and once we are in that, once we get a glimpse of that, then what difference does it make? Then interact with the world as we go out with friends and family, do everything, same thing we're doing. But now the entire internal ojas shakti has awakened to its highest levels, where there is this para ojas and apara ojas. Both are functioning in the best possible way. Para ojas in the superior form and apara ojas in the secondary form. They connect together and we have a most fantastic life. The quality of life is the topmost, because one is free from inside. One has realized that there is ananda. That ananda is this relational bond with God, with Bhagwan Krishna, Bhagwan Narayan, Bhagwan ke saath connection. And that's Shraddha, Nishta, all these things we've already talked about before. That all comes into this, and it culminates into this divine conservation, the refinement of the mind, the refinement of the intellect, the refinement of the TEMDE, thought, emotion, memory, desire, energy, that refinement, and then the quality, quantity, direction, dimension, depth, and structure, the 5-6-5 that we talk about in our angel wing program, all are refined. Everything is refined completely, into ojas. And once it is refined there, it remains there. That ojas is stored in the brain. The corpus callosum of the brain becomes fully awakened. The personality of the individual becomes a divine personality. Becomes the entire body-mind complex and the personality. It transforms into a very, very supra-human level that can happen. So when we see very high level sages, उनके दर्शन से हमको शांति मिलती है. This is called Manomaya Chakrani Dhara, Sarangpur Vachanamrita, one of the Sarangpur 7 or 8, or I forgot the number. When you see enlightened sages, just by their presence, there is peace and harmony and stability and kalyanam and all that. Why is that? Because of this Ojas Shakti, because of their bhakti. All right, let's stop here for now. We'll pick this up tomorrow. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishi Sarvada Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Deva Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sarva Mangala Mangalle Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanyatrambike Devi Narayani Namostute Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundaye Vichye Swaha. Shri Durga Arpanamastu. Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu.